All right, it's the first ever video conversational questions. I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
And we're the podcasting dad. And Jessi is normally my co-host for Weird Wednesdays. But you really like the conversational questions.
I do. They're fun.
They are. And what's cool is I feel like everybody will answer different. So even if you do listen to this regularly, and you've heard one of these questions, I highly doubt Jessi will answer like Matt. Oh, my God.
No, me and Matt are basically the same person, so.
Are you?
No.
I was going to say, man, y'all, I don't see it, but you know what? I don't know. Well, no. I've got me a glass of whiskey. You've got...
Water. Gotta hydrate.
Yeah, you definitely got to hydrate. But But if you are listening to this, then ignore anything I say about video, because there is a video component of this over on YouTube, so make sure to check that out. I'm going to try to do this for all of them now, and I'm sorry for the crappy lighting. I know that this studio's a work in progress, so I know that I need better lighting. We'll get there. But in the meantime, Jessi, are you ready for the first question?
I am. Let's hear it.
It's so weird because I feel weird podcasting with a camera on me versus... normally they can't see.
Pretend like it's not there.
I still see it.
That never works.
And I'm using a completely different mic too, so if I sound funky, that's why. All right, so number one, just starting it out, I did ask Matt this one, but I really feel like it's a good one for you. What would you do differently if you knew that no one would judge you?
You asked him that one. I didn't hear that one. What would I do differently if I knew no one would judge me? Mm-hmm. If I knew that nobody would judge me.
Like maybe what's something you've always wanted to do, but maybe you were scared people would like on our podcast, for me, I had said I wish I would sing more. And I don't think I have a great singing voice.
I second that.
Is that what you think?
Because when I'm by myself... I sing like there is no tomorrow, but I will not sing or dance in front of people. So dancing is one too.
I've seen you dance.
Have you?
I follow. Oh no, you're on your Instagram. You dance. You've got a couple of like TikTok dance videos.
That's different. It's bad.
Is that because you're trying to like be goofy in those versus like straight up dance?
No, I don't try to be goofy. I just accept the goofiness. Like that's just how.
Right.
That's just how I be dancing.
So singing and dancing would be your two if you knew no one was going to judge you.
And I think probably more. I think I would probably wear more glitter.
So you'd wear more glitter
on my face.
Okay. I don't think people would judge you for that.
I don't know. I think it's because I'm like older now. I used to wear a ton of glitter on my face, and now I feel like I'm too old for that.
I feel like you do what you want to do.
Most of the time.
It's what you should do, because like I remember like somebody saying something about like Ray-Ban type sunglasses, like the Wayfarer look with like the different bright colors, like a bright orange pair or something, and someone going, yeah, I saw so-and-so wearing those. It's like, man, you're almost 40. That's something. And it's like, screw you, man. Like, wear what you want to wear.
I don't know why. Normally, I don't care about stuff that I wear and do. I'm not worried about it looking young or whatever. But for some reason, the glitter thing, I feel like I'm too old to wear glitter on my face. I know I'm not. You're not too old to do anything.
Right.
But that's the one thing that I wish I would do more of.
So... what I'm hearing is you need to start working on your singing, your dancing, and put more glitter on your face.
The next time we do one of these, I am going to be decked out in glitter, and I'm going to sing and dance for everybody.
All right. Okay. Here's an easy one. What is your favorite smell?
Oh, man. Probably the smell of, cedar and basement is tied.
Basement, like
the smell of basement,
that musky.
Oh God, I love it. And I hate that like once you're in it for like 30 seconds, you can't smell it anymore because you get used to it. I just want to keep smelling it.
And see, I try very hard to make my basement not smell that way.
I love it.
I mean, like I need to put like a new Scentsy in over there, but I try really hard to not make this smell. JP, the first time JP came down here, he was like, oh man, this is nice. It doesn't even smell like a normal basement.
It doesn't. Remember when I came down here, I was like, it smells like Fruity Pebbles.
Yep.
What is your favorite smell?
My favorite smell, gosh, it's like some of these you think would be so easy, but then I'm like, my favorite smell... I don't know if it's like a cologne or a perfume. Let me think.
Well, what's your least favorite smell? Do you know that?
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit and vomit.
Unless it's your own.
No.
Oh.
Still don't like it then either. No, favorites. You know what? Is as cliche as this might be, I think my favorite smell's the ocean. And I say that because, you know, you and I, but you like myself, you love the ocean, you love the beach. And, you know, when you just can't wait to get there. When you step out the very first time and just that salty air hits your nostrils.
Do you like roll the windows down when you get close? Oh, yeah. Just like smell the air.
Trying to get, that's probably my favorite smell just because it makes me so happy. Like I'm here, I've made it. Yeah,
you're right. That is a good one.
So, but cedar in basement is a lot more specific. Like I feel like that's a cooler answer.
Well, you know how people have cravings when they're pregnant? When I was pregnant with Sonny, I craved the smell of cedar. Isn't that weird? I couldn't get enough of it. I would just like had cedar chips. Just.
I think Dr. Squatch. Have you Squatch? It's like Sasquatch. But have you seen that? Like that brand of soap?
Oh yeah.
I think they make like a cedar.
Do they?
So maybe you need to get
walk
that,
around
and you
smelling
could just
like cedar.
Be sniffing yourself. But you know what? You might not want to do. You might want to just get it and smell it though, because if you bathe yourself in it, you go like nose blind to it.
Exactly, just like the basement.
Right. If you bathe yourself in a basement, you will go nose blind to it.
Amongst other things.
So, what's your favorite time of the year and why?
Oh, you know, that is a hard one. I think at the moment, my favorite time of the year is like when spring is happening and it's like warm enough to go outside and not have to wear like anything specific. When you can like wear whatever and be fine.
Right.
I love it.
Like when you don't have to, like, because like now we're at the point, well, especially as crazy as the weather's been, where it's like, all right, what is it like outside? So it's like in spring, get to that point where if you're wearing a hoodie, you can go outside. If you're wearing shorts, you can go outside.
Good. You wear a tank top, you're good.
And fresh cut grass, even though like at the beginning of the season for cutting grass, like when people and I know that smell is like grass's panicked reaction to being sliced apart. But it still smells pretty damn good.
Chlorophyll.
So let's see here. Going to get into some of the deep ones now. So are you holding on to something that you need to let go of?
Yeah.
What of? And I feel like that's a lot. I feel like you have multiple of those. Am I right?
Yeah.
So what's something? Give us the biggest one or the one you don't mind. You mind talking about the least. What's something you've been holding on to?
My biggest one at the moment is the fact. I don't even know if I should say this right now, but I hate someone. And I know hate is a strong word, and that's why I'm trying to let go of it. I don't want to hate this person anymore, but they make it really hard for me not.
And I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
But
I'm not going to say because court hasn't happened yet, so I'm not going to, add fuel to the fire. But that's my biggest thing. I don't like to be mad, and I'm constantly mad at this person.
You really, like, I've known you since, like, the 8th grade, and you really are not an angry person. It's very rare that I've seen you ever, at the very lowest, chill would be, like, your low. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're either really happy or you just chill, but it's very, very rare that you are angry.
It is rare, but the person I speak of has seen me mad a couple times.
So they do a good job of making you mad.
They know how to push my buttons, yeah.
And so that's something that you definitely need to let go of.
And they ain't pushing the right ones, so...
So here's one I want to ask everybody because my answer has been different than everyone's so far. So let me see here. Would you rather have less work? Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Would you rather have less hours where you work now, or would you rather have more hours with a job that you enjoy? Like, and keep in mind, like, this is this could be your passion. Like, if someone
Would I rather have less hours where I just started my new job, so I don't hate it yet.
Right.
And I actually really like what I do. But I wouldn't say I'd want less hours, but I would rather have a job where I work doing something that I love.
Right, because it's like in a perfect world, would you rather, have a job that you kind of just tolerate but you work less hours and make decent money, or would you rather have a job where you for you, it could be like art or something, like creating and like, but you're going to work more, but you love what you do.
See, that's my thing. I have literally always felt like I don't want to be doing a job that I don't like. I would much rather be working my ass off for less money doing something that I love, which is what basically I had been doing for the past few years.
Yeah.
But now I had to go get a real job because that wasn't working.
You actually answered similar to me. A lot of folks that I've asked that question, which I guess really Matt's the only one up to this point that I've had on conversational questions. But I've asked a lot of people off mic, and everybody's been like less hours. And I'm like, I don't feel like, though, if you love what you're doing, you don't really feel like you're working.
Exactly.
So it's like, for me, podcasting, if this was my full-time gig and this was all that I did, I wouldn't mind working more hours.
Let's make that happen.
Join our Patreon.
I wouldn't mind working more hours if this was my job at all. I would love it.
If you had to do like a couple podcasts a day, it'd be like, okay.
Like, hell, let me go chill with my homie Justin.
Especially if we were at that point, I feel like we'd have a crew working for us. So like you could have people like steering the direction of each episode.
They can hit the bleep button for you.
Yes. It's so weird sitting over here too. Normally I'm on that side, which
so
is
you got to watch your mouth.
Yeah. Well, if I say it, I say it. Ain't no going back now. All right. So when it's all said and done, will you have said more than you've done?
Oh, man. Probably. And that's hard for me to admit, but yeah, probably.
I feel like, though, most human beings, the answer is going to be yes.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Unless you're like Mother Teresa or Gandhi.
Yeah, like or just filthy rich and you can go do whatever you want when you want. Most people are always, and even then, I feel like some of them will have things that they will have always said they wanted to do but never got around to.
Yeah, which is sad.
Because it's like the double-edged sword is like, if you're broke, you can't afford to go do all the things you want to do. But if you're filthy rich, unless you're just one of these little trust fund kids, odds are you work. Because 9 out of 10 people that I know that are very financially successful, they work non-freaking stop. So it's like, so either you're going to be too poor to afford to do what you want to do, or you're going to be too busy to do the things that you want to do.
Yeah, and it's like, where's the middle ground? There's the problem. I heard recently you should, instead of working and getting the money and then doing what you want to do what you do and then do what you want to do and then worry about the money. But
how do you do what you want to do without the money?
Because eventually if you're doing what you want to do, you'll make money at it.
But like, what if I want to go to Italy and I don't have the money? You
could be a tour guide.
But what if I don't have the money?
I'm sure you could raise the money.
Yeah, do like a GoFundMe.
If you really, if you really want it to, if there's a will, there's a way.
That's a good point.
And everything else will fall into place, because as long as you're happy, you're putting out good vibes. And when you put out good vibes, the universe does everything for you.
And it's so funny you say that. Like, and really, I do this. I tell myself, so like, if I have a really good day, I mean, I'm a pretty happy person. So, I mean, it's not like I'm bummed all the time. But if I'm having like a really good day, like let's just say work's going wonderful or something big happens, I have to tell myself all day, do not get too excited, because every time I'm having like a great day and just like actually stopping to observe, like today has been a good day, something always happens that derails it. And it seems as though if I just keep myself not down and low, but if I keep myself at a happy medium, just like, today's been a good day,
that makes me sad for you.
It's not the end of the world.
But you know what? You might be manifesting that because you think if you get too excited, something bad's going to happen. So that's what happens.
But I know that from experience.
Listen, do you have glitter on your nails?
Yes. I let my daughter paint my nails earlier, and some of it peeled off.
I love it.
But yeah,
it's beautiful.
You probably can't see it all the way from over there. And if you're listening on SoundCloud or iTunes, you certainly
can't see
cannot
it at all.
But there's a little glitter on my nail. Yeah, my little girl's at the point where she likes to do makeup and nails and stuff. So I'm usually the one she wants to put in the chair.
You're such a good person.
I'm cool with it though. I like it.
Yeah, I bet you do.
She's so into it too. Like when she's putting that polish on, man, like she's like concentrated, got my finger in one hand and she loves it. So
that is so sweet.
It's fun. Yeah, I don't mind it. All right, so now we're going to get into something that I feel like you'd have a good answer for, and you're probably, because I said that, I'm manifesting, you're not going to have an answer. But what simple fact do you wish people or what simple fact do you wish more people understood?
Probably once again, the whole like money happiness thing. Like happiness doesn't come with having money. You know, if you can just do what makes you happy, you don't have to follow the social norm, because everybody gets sucked into that, and then they get unhappy. And then by the time you're done working, when you're old, you're depressed and you're too old to do any of the good stuff.
Yeah.
I just wish more people would not get sucked into, oh, when I get out of school, I have to go to college. And then, no, that's not, you don't have to do things like that. You don't have to get married before you have babies.
Right. Oh, yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree with the whole.
Well, yeah, I know you do.
I mean, just the thought that like, it's just programmed into people's minds. Like, all right, I got to graduate high school. Now I got to find my soulmate and get this degree. And then I got to it's like there shouldn't be a formula to life. You should just go at your own pace. And if marriage comes.
I just thought of another one.
Well, go ahead.
A big one for me.
All right.
That I'm just now realizing. But I feel like most people think that the only way they can find happiness is through someone else.
That is a good one.
And I'm just now figuring out that like this, my whole entire life, I should have been more focused on how I can make me happy, not finding someone else like my better half.
Right.
No.
Right.
I am the better half. I'm the whole,
I agree with that. I do. I think that finding the right person can only, if they are the right person, can make life even better.
Right.
But that you have to make yourself happy before you can truly be happy with somebody else. Like you got to learn to love you before you can love someone else. Which is probably, my issue because I hate myself. I hate me more than I hate anyone else.
I like you enough for both of us, so it's okay.
All right, well, that works. Maybe that bleeds over. But that's a good one. I like that. Good job. Good job. And I usually clarify this in the beginning. I didn't this time. But these questions come from Table Topics, which you can actually buy a whole box of them. A lot of times you see them in offices or on somebody's coffee table. It's just meant to inspire conversation, questions that actually get people talking. All right. Now here's a good one for you because I know your friends mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
Some of them you've had your whole life. A lot of them you've had
since like middle school.
Yeah. So you see a lot of things on Facebook that's like, for the few rare people out there that held on to friends through school, raise your hands. It's like for you, that's a lot of folks.
I have 2 friend groups that I've been friends with since middle school. And Sam, my best friend that I know you through, we've been friends since before that.
It's weird too because I'm like yourself and I are similar in the fact that like I have different friends groups. Like I have
do too,
like this group. I have like maybe my. For a while I had more like my hard rock friends, and then I had like skateboarding friends, and then I had like your regular friends, and
that's
then like
we're
your
just
hunting
like
friends.
Super cool, and we fit in with everybody.
I mean, we do mesh pretty well.
It's just because we're nice people, not because we're cool. Not that you're not cool, but.
Oh, you took it from me.
I'm sorry, you're really cool.
But being that friends mean a lot to you, what are the top 3 qualities that you look for in a friend?
Oh man, don't be fake.
Is that the number one?
Yeah, don't be fake. You gotta be funny. If you ain't funny, you just gotta get out of here. And you just like don't judge me. I gotta be able to trust you, like tell you everything.
So you're saying the friend can't judge you?
Yeah.
I thought like
no. Yeah,
I thought you were about to throw something random. You were like, don't judge me, but you also have to be able to cook really good.
They also have to be into. Never mind. I don't know what I can say on this podcast.
You can say whatever you want.
I was gonna say anal.
Right. Okay.
But just kidding.
But if they're just your friends, I guess you could have that to talk about though. So your top 3 would be they can't be fake, they got to be funny, and they can't judge you.
Right. Well, I got to be able to trust them and to know my secrets and also not judge me at the same time.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Those are really good.
Do you have somebody you can tell your secrets to?
I feel like I can tell you. I mean, I don't really feel like I have to hide much from you.
No, that's true.
I mean,
you can tell me anything.
I've definitely told you some things that I wouldn't tell other people.
I was going to say some guys, but I feel like you tell me the stuff you would tell guys, so.
Yeah, I mean, that counts. I've got one or, I've got a couple of friends that I would feel comfortable sharing some of that stuff with. But I mean, a lot of times it's.
I would share. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're one of them.
Yeah.
Duh.
I don't say I've come to you with like girl problems before that I wouldn't say out loud. I'm like, so what's the deal here? So no, absolutely.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a girl.
I know. I'm like, all right, she's a girl. She'll understand. You're like, I don't know, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Chicks are weird. I'm like, Jessi. All right. So here's a good one, and I have my answer. I'm interested to see what your answer is going to be. What's the downside of the modern world?
Technology, people getting sucked into technology and not enjoying not technology. Like the kids these days don't know how to have fun unless they have a screen in front of their face.
I agree. That is absolutely mine, and I'm guilty of it myself. Like,
so am I.
Like I'm not, I'm not at all saying like everyone needs to get this right, and I've figured it out. No, I mean, there's plenty of times where I catch myself. I'll be at a friend's house or at a gathering, and then the next thing you know, I'm like, why have I been scrolling through Facebook for the last 30 minutes?
Right. I do the same thing, and there's days where I guess I'm disassociating. Is that the word?
Yeah.
And I catch myself, and I have to be like, dude, get off of TikTok. Like, this isn't helping you at all.
TikTok will suck you in,
man.
That's
the worst.
TikTok, like, I did not like it for the first, year because I thought it was just dumb dances and narcissism.
It took me a long time.
It still very much is those things, but once you find channels that you like and it kind of like the algorithm figures out what it is that you like. Exactly. It gets really hard to put it down.
That's what's on yours. Do you still have? Mm-hmm. What's on your what comes up on yours the most?
It'll be it'll be a lot of like space stuff, like stuff about space, be it like black holes or new satellites and stuff, paranormal stuff. Yeah. Baseball. What's some other stuff I see? For some reason, a lot of what's the way to say this? A lot of scantily clad women.
For some reason.
For some reason.
I don't know how that happened.
I really do, though. The thing I've learned is if you just watch a video all the way through, like, it'll put that as an algorithm as you must have liked it if you watched it all the way through.
I haven't heard, like...
I've not followed anyone that has a channel where they do, like, these, like, sexy things. And I don't even like those because at first I was like, well, if I like it, then people can see I liked it. Yeah. So, like, but they still pop up. But
I don't know. What else pops up when you're watching the scantily clad women?
Well, a lot of them. Let's see. What else pops? I mean, that's really... And then it'll be like a lot of, I don't know, like video game stuff or, a little bit of basketball stuff. But it's tuned into the things that I like. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. While the scantily clad women doesn't look good on your public profile, I never said I didn't like it. So it does know what I like.
We got lucky, though, because we grew up before we had no internet and then internet all while we were still young. So, like, we knew, like, the best of both worlds. So we still know how to, like, entertain ourselves without. But the kids coming up now, they've had it since before they could even walk, basically.
Oh, yeah. We are like that last generation who remembers life before technology.
How old were you when y'all got internet?
Probably like 12.
Yeah, I was about the same
somewhere
age.
In that range between like 11 and 12. Because I remember my dad setting me up an email when I was too young to understand what an email was. But it was like I got a Toy Story game like for the computer. Yeah. And in order to do something, you had to like put in your email and it was this and that. So like my dad created an email for me, and I think it was like something like Just Incredible 99 or something like that.
Yeah. That's good. Yep. Just Incredible.
I don't have any idea where that email address is now. I'm sure
you should try to log in.
I don't even remember if I think it was at Yahoo. I think it was Just Incredible 99 at yahoo.com.
What was your first like AOL name? What was it? AIM? What was it?
Well, at first it was ICQ.
ICQ is what it was.
Don't forget about ICQ.
That was the first one. What do you remember what your name was on there?
No, I didn't even remember that we had screen names. It was probably something super douchey.
Mine was Sugar Plum Fairy.
I have no clue, but I remember like y'all, I would be hanging out with you and your whole group, and then we would go home and we all get on ICQ and start talking to each other like as if we hadn't just spent the last 4 hours together.
Look, and we would I know me and my girlfriends would, when we weren't with each other, we would be on the phone.
Oh yeah.
Even in the mornings before school, we were on the phone the whole morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And then you had to put, because you've been in my ICQ bio, you know what I mean? Like at ICQ, it would just be shout outs to your friends. Like you put somebody's name and then something between the two of you. Like, with you, it might be like, I got a fart, or something like that.
I've been farting this whole time.
Jessi.
You know me so well.
That's a leather chair.
I can't just be like, hold on every 2 seconds.
It's not. It's totally fake leather. So you pelt it with your poo all you want.
I'll wipe it down before I leave.
Wipe me down. That's all I know of that song. He says, because I'm something. All I remember is wipe me down. All right. So getting into it as we move through here now, what are some bad habits that you want to break? Like, farting on people's chairs. That's a good start, Bad habits. They probably... I don't know. Habits. What are my habits? The phone thing. I'm on my phone too much. But that's a given. That's a bad habit everybody should break. Yeah, I think most people in the modern age, that's a habit they have. Because when I go hiking, which is when you're supposed to disconnect from all of that because you're out in the woods. Now, I don't get on Facebook, but I feel like I have to take pictures nonstop because I make little albums.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's always great because I can look back on it, but it's also distracting because
it is.
You're
looking at it through a screen, and that's what people say about when you're at a concert.
Yeah. Don't
look at it through the screen. Just enjoy it. But probably getting defensive. I get defensive really easy with.
So what are some triggers that will make you become defensive?
I think the triggers are the people that I get defensive with. Just anything they say.
Oh, really?
I get defensive. And then after I think about it, I'm like, I definitely could have handled that better.
So is it one of those things where maybe I could ask you something and it wouldn't bother you at all, and then someone else could ask you the same thing, but because of the way you know them, it would bother you?
Yeah. And my kids, and that sounds bad, but my kids are those people.
They make you defensive?
I don't know about defensive. Maybe that wasn't the greatest. Not for them. For them, I get angry, I guess, when I shouldn't.
Irritated? Oh, yeah, I do too.
And then I think about it and I'm like, dude, they're just kids. Calm down.
I do that too. But then I also remember that, sometimes, kids, number one, no parent's ever going to be perfect. It's just not. Yeah. It's not possible.
And it's like I tell Layla, the oldest one, all the time, he has to understand that because I know how I saw my parents. You think your parents can do no wrong. They know everything. You listen to them because they know. And I tell him, every single day is a new day for me in parenting. I've never done this before.
Right.
He's the first.
Right.
And even with Sonny, the little one, it's it's different. It's not the same for every kid.
No, it's not.
You're always learning. We, as parents, we don't know shit.
You're right.
I know nothing. I'm winging it.
That's it. And I learned that. I used to, have talking about holding on to things that you should let go of. I used to have some resentment to my parents because I was the first kid and they had me really young. So they were super strict on me and, all of this. And then I look at my little brother who turned out to be a great person, but they were so lax on him and just let him do whatever he wanted. And for the longest time I held that together. But then when I had a kid, I started realizing you really don't know what you're doing. You're just figuring this out as you go.
The first kid, you're so scared you're going to do something wrong and they're going to die or get hurt. But then you realize that they don't get hurt that easily. So you're just more lenient with the other ones. They're going to be okay.
But then why do we stay so tight on the first one? Because
you're just used to
it. Right. So you're in the rhythm of being a little bit tighter.
And I'm like that with my kids, and it makes me feel terrible.
Yeah, I do things I regret, but then I like today. So my daughter was she was sleepy grumpy is what it was.
We've all been there.
Needed a nap. So it's like we went and got some food. Like I called it in. I went and got it for us. There was nothing there she would have liked. So we made her some hot dogs and cut them up. And she had already eaten them by the time I got back with the food. And she was like whining really bad. Like she wanted, and of course we're like, well, what do you want? Like, what do you want a bite of? And we'll give her a bite of whatever we got. And everything was like, she would like be ugly about it, like, and then it got worse and worse, and then she just started crying for no reason. So I was like, okay, you know what? If you want to cry, and I took her, and she was watching her little YouTube kids on the phone, and I took her, and I didn't like lock her in a room, but I sat her on our bed and was like, here, if you're gonna be sleepy grumpy, you can do this. I'm gonna eat in peace.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was right there. The door was open. I didn't like lock her up or like whoop her or anything, but I just sat her in there. I was like, you can cry it out in here. I'm trying to eat some food. And it's like I kind of felt bad about that, but then I was like, no, there's way worse ways parents would have probably handled that. I mean, I just basically was like, I'm not gonna. If you want to be that way, I'm just letting you know I'm not listening to it.
I mean,
I probably should have just ignored.
Literally, like, know what it's like to be grumpy, sleepy grumpy. So and they're little kids, so they don't really know how to express that. So I think you handled that pretty well, because a lot of kids will get beat for that, for nothing.
Oh, it's sad. Yeah. I don't know how people can, like, having my own kid now, I just don't know how you can beat your child. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. She makes me feel all kinds of irritated, but ain't none of them, like, transferring to my fists or my hands, No. All right. So here we go. As we get close to the end of this thing, what makes life easier?
Money.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute now. I believe this whole time.
That was a joke. It was a joke.
All right.
Okay. So in my experience, life is easier when you are not surrounded by negative people, and you learn to say no and don't be a people pleaser. You gotta learn. I just got an Adele song. Like, why did that remind me of it? Anyway.
Which Adele song?
The one where they've been doing that dance too on TikTok. It was like, let me down gently. That one.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. Money. I think basically just cutting out the negativity all around.
The negativity?
Yeah. Any negative people, anything that makes you unhappy, anything that you agree to do that you don't want to do, don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, anything that makes you feel not good.
So, like, live for you. That makes life easier.
Yeah.
Good answer. I like that.
Well, what would make life easier for you? Or what do you think makes life easier?
Drugs.
I was going to say whiskey.
whiskey and maybe a little Mary Jane from time to time, probably.
Okay.
But no, I mean, really, no, you're right. I mean, what would make life easier for me would be to get on better terms with myself.
Yeah.
Like, no one around me makes my life difficult, I mean, yeah, there's people I would rather be around more than others, but, nobody or nothing is making my life any worse. It's just my own headspace that really holds me back sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what you said applies to me 100%. That would make life easier if I could just learn to, the people pleasing, not so much, because I do try to make people happy, but at the same time, I'm at that age and that point in life where it's like, look, I'm too busy. If you're going to be petty over some dumb stuff, I don't have time to try and make you happy. Try to do you right the first time. If that ain't good enough, I did all I can do.
Right.
You need to work on you. But, I need to work on me. So do you have a favorite quote?
Yes.
What is it?
I have a favorite quote.
I'm so excited. What is it? I love favorite quotes. What is it?
It is by Shakespeare.
Okay.
The man whose name I couldn't remember last time.
I love his work. I just can't think of his name.
Sherlock Holmes.
Money.
All right. So I don't know it word for word, but it's something like, if man ever quit laughing at himself, he wouldn't have a reason to live.
Oh.
Something along those lines.
I like that. And that fit, knowing you as well as I do, that fits you.
Yeah.
It's like to a T.
I learned that in 9th grade, or maybe it was 10th, but either way.
That's awesome.
I love, what's your favorite quote?
Mine's by Maya Angelou. And it's super simple. And I've probably said it on this podcast before, but it's just that people will forget what you said and people will forget what you did, but people never forget how you make them feel.
Yeah, I've heard you say that.
Because that is my because it is so true. Like when someone dies, you know, and you try to remember them, or someone moves away and you don't see them anymore, you know, you don't necessarily remember every little story and thing they said and, you know, things that they've done for you, but you just remember like the way they made you feel when you were around them. And if they made you feel important and loved, or like, you know, or if you just always, you know, felt fun around them, like you remember those, you know.
That's true. I like that one.
So that's probably my favorite one. There's a lot of good ones out there, but that's probably at the top. What?
You don't hear that?
My AC.
Oh.
You know, the thing that's keeping us from sweating balls right now?
It sounded like an outside force. So I was worried for a second.
Well, we're going to have to wrap this up before the outside force comes in here and murders us. But Jessi, I'm definitely going to have you back here for this.
I loved it.
So far, I've only had 2 guests, but of the 2 I've had, you've killed it. Not that, Matt, if you're listening, not that you don't do a good job. But I really liked a lot of the answers I got. So I'm definitely going to have to try to put together some new ones for you for the next time you join me for this one.
I should put some together for you, and we'll take turns.
You should. That'd be great. Just look up table topics.
I'm gonna do that
and come up with some. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll try to reconvene here. I'll try to get 1 or 2 guests in between now and then we'll reconvene for a part 2.
Okay.
And if you're a regular viewer / listener of this channel, we're gonna hopefully, if all goes well, for Weird Wednesday, we'll be live video again.
Yeah.
The only way that's going to be a problem is if we have a 3rd guest, because then that means someone's got to either sit down between us.
You can be the narrator.
Yeah, I'll just be the voice on the other side as like,
just sit like right here.
I mean, I do have the face for radio, so it probably would be better if I was on that side of the camera.
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
Don't talk. Hey, self-love, man.
You know what's funny though? I mean, I know people are just talking crap. You know, I mean, it's just fun, but it's like, you know, as you get into radio and you do it for so long, you meet people, especially like I found, especially men older than 60. They always, when they meet you, go, I've been listening to you for a long time. Hot damn, you do have a face for radio. And I'm like, look, with your 320-pound hobbling ass.
Listen.
Ain't got no hair on your head.
It's just a bad dad joke. They don't mean it.
But I mean, I know they're just talking smack. I mean, it doesn't like really bother me.
I mean, look at that beard.
It is pretty much it. Which I don't know, with this black background, does it even look like I have a beard or just a really short chin? Because I'm going to have to get better lighting back here. And now that the video thing looks like it's going to pan out, I'm going to go ahead and put a old rush order on that. But I'm going to have some light behind us and some light in front of us. But because it is kind of like Fight Club lighting right now. We need
some like ambiance.
We do. I'm working on it. That light only flickers when you're around. I think it's been flickering throughout the podcast.
I don't see it flickering.
Maybe not. Maybe just my eyes.
I think your eyes are messing up.
I mean, that is true. My eyesight's not the best these days.
Me either.
But anyways, make sure to check us out. We're also on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify. We're all over the place. Subscribe wherever you listen. Share this with people that you know. Hopefully you got something out of this. I think Jessi was borderline therapist level there of giving like good life advice. So,
well, I've been through enough, so I'm learning as I go.
It's like, do you have a degree in psychology? No, but I have had a lot of therapists. And I've learned a thing or two. Money. But also check us out on Patreon. I hadn't been able to post as many Patreon casts as I'd like to here lately, just because with the holidays, you know, Christmas and New Year's, it's been hectic. But I plan to get back on that. But either way, even without the Patreon helps me to afford this equipment so that we can keep doing this. Yeah. And I eventually want a better camera setup. So the Patreon helps to keep that going. But in the meantime, Jessi, I'll catch you Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll see you on a Weird Wednesday.
I'll see y'all probably on Weird Wednesday too.
Yeah.
But my glass is empty, so it's time to wrap this up.
Peace out.
I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
And we're the Podcasting Dad. Adios. I do like all the cool kids are like, and then they, cover the camera up.
Do they? Oh, yeah.
I'm too far away.
I got you.
It's like those annoying TikTok kids.